So I did a little bit of shopping yesterday, just a touch. I'm not going crazy with the shopping this year, I hope. But today I'm just going to be talking about this, the Bite Foundation. I'm kind of curious. The couple of reviews that I've seen, it's the best thing since sliced bread, but I want to say that one of them, if not two of them, were sponsored. And they were sponsored by Canadian YouTubers, and this is a Canadian company, and there's some kind of simpatica, empathy, whatever you want to call it there. I'm not dissing anyone. I'm just saying we have to be, open to the reality of what things are on YouTube these days. People make money, a lot of money apparently, doing sponsored videos, and then you never hear about the product again. It happens. So we need to try things, and I'm going to try. I'm going to move in a little bit. I'm the Hooded Lid, and welcome to my channel. The color selection is not very good here, in my humble opinion, and once again, there's hardly anything in light medium, and in store, these are numbered with an L for light and M for medium. There is no light medium, but I looked it up before I went into store, and there were a couple of things called light medium. They have an M in front of them, and they were very, very dark. I started at 1, which I thought would work for me. I think it was M65, which is supposed to be a neutral. It was pretty dark and pretty orange. This line runs orange, as far as I can tell. I did come in with 2, and that is L40 and L30. The L30, and that probably doesn't look so bad. Oh no, this is the 40. Is that what I just said? I mean, you guys, I don't remember anything from minute to minute. This is the 30. And it's lighter, yes, but it seems a little more neutral. And there's a little more yellow in this one. I think what I'm going to do is, rather than mix them together, I am going to do the L30. This is turning more yellow as I'm sitting here. I have a feeling somebody said that this oxidizes a teeny bit. It has a slightly creamy texture. So it's not liquidy. And I'm going to apply with my fingers as I prefer to do. Now I'm not wiping off the swatch that I did because I do have my sunscreen on, and my sunscreen I prefer to, oh, this is a weird feeling. I need to allow my sunscreen to set up for about half an hour before I put on my foundation. This has a scent. And it feels like it's a perfume that is in there to compensate for something else. Like something else in here doesn't smell good, so they put a little perfume in it. That's my feeling. I don't have any evidence of that. The color is really good. It just has a slightly dimethicone-y feeling, I think, to it. I can't put my finger on it. It looks very nice in the skin. It was very easy to blend in. And the finish, hard to tell because I do have sunscreen on. Wow. I don't mind this at all. I wouldn't say that it's moisturizing or hydrating. It feels a little bit dimethicone-y to me. I don't like it when I do the quotes, but sometimes I can't help myself. I want to add a little bit to the cheeks. I would say this coverage is a solid medium. I just want to add a little to the cheeks and see if I can build it up. And I'm going to do the build with a beauty blender. This is something that I got wet yesterday. It feels like it's still a little damp, but it's not soaking wet. And I'm gonna keep on building. Just putting the slightest amount, like here where I have my major capillaries and sun damage. I am not hating it. Always a good thing. So I'm gonna let this set up for a little bit, see if it oxidizes, do my under eyes, and I will be back in 10 minutes. All right, I'm back. It's about 10 minutes. I've done my under eyes. What do you think? Because they're making me nuts. And I added a practical light that has a little bit of yellow behind my umbrella light here, which is quite cool, because I felt like I was looking pretty gray, and it's very hard for you to get a feeling for what the color is, and hopefully this is a better balance. It feels a little bit tacky, and that could be my sunscreen, hard to tell. It is not settling. I have some lines right here, it's not settling. And my 11s are clear. All right, so now let's see how the rest of my makeup applies. I want to try both powder and cream, which means I'm gonna look crazy pants, right? I have an idea. Let's just do powder without powdering the face and see what happens. So I'm using the NARS Torrid, going really lightly on both sides, just depositing the powder, kind of pressing it down rather than blending in at first, and now a little blend. There's a little bit of pull on this, so there's a slight bit of wetness going on. But I have to say I always, almost always, powder my cheeks at least, because I don't want anything to skip or drag. So I'm actually doing a test on this foundation in a manner that I would never actually do my makeup, because I usually do powder this. So the question is, will it be drying? And I will know the answer to that in about an hour. Foundation is still on, so even though there was some pull, there was no problem. Whoops, and I feel like, whoa, I got a lot more on that side. So time to blend and see if I can save this. I'll be back in 10 minutes. All right, you guys, from my point of view, I really hammed out on the bronzer. I am not Alana Davidson. If you don't know who she is, go watch someone put on a shit ton of bronzer every day. She's adorable, she is beautiful, but she hams it. I just can't, I'm just so focused on what the hell this bronzer situation is that I can't really notice what's going on with the foundation. But the foundation took it. I mean, I think I over bronzed and I over blushed. I feel like I'm wearing so much makeup today. I did the Viseart on the eyes. I haven't done my brows yet or my mascara or any of that stuff. I just wanted to come back and say, look, everything deposited. It's just my user error, I think. I don't know that it was the error of the foundation. Of course it wasn't. It was my error. So there we go. I will be back in about an hour and we will see what this is feeling like, if it's feeling tight or if it's cool. And then we'll talk about ingredients and see you in a minute. I'm back. It's about an hour later. One thing I want to get out of the way, I have more color than I'm used to. I don't feel like this product needs powder because it's sticky or because it's too shiny, too radiant, but my blush that's a little bit more than I'm used to. Now you saw me put on the bronzer and everything was fine on this side. When I got to this side, it was like, oh shit. So I obviously didn't load my brush correctly. The bronzer's my fault, but the blush, I think it's a little more difficult, or it's different than what I'm used to when it comes to powder products on top of this. But I think it looks very nice. I think it's a very pretty foundation. It's very comfortable, and I do not feel any dryness coming from it. And usually the dryness doesn't take too long. I can tell in about an hour or so as it really settles in. if it's going to cause any dryness. I want to read you a little bit about it. Please tell me I picked up the right notes. Yes. Okay, so this comes in 32 shades. I feel like this runs pretty warm, and I think the light medium shade range could have been a little better. I'm wearing light 30, so I'm thinking the light shades need to be a little better too, because I think people are a lot lighter than me. I feel that I'm a light medium. I'm not quite a light, and I'm not quite a medium. So there's that. It's $39.50 for 1 fluid ounce, which isn't bad. It's a couple of dollars more than things I would put in this category. This category shouldn't be going to the $40 range as far as I'm concerned. You know, makeup costs are going higher and higher and higher, but nobody's getting raises in the same fashion. Do you know what I mean? Like Charlotte Tilbury raises her prices 20%. I don't know anyone anywhere who got a 20% raise. That just doesn't happen unless you change jobs. So I think companies need to be a little bit cognizant of that. If they want to continue to sell a lot of product, and God knows they're releasing a lot of product, they need to keep the prices reined in a little bit. I recently saw that, you know, side tangent, I recently saw a Makeup Geek is releasing a 9-pan that is more expensive than Huda's. And Makeup Geek's powders are not anywhere as nice as Huda's. Now I only have maybe 4 or 5 or 6 of them. I don't think they are the same quality as the Huda's. So, but they're like $33 I think, where Huda's are $28, $29. They need to start thinking about their consumer and their wallet. They're going to be selling less product, I guarantee you. But let's move back on to this. This is what they say. The coverage is medium, it is natural, and it's for all skin types. I always find that hard to believe, but I have to say, I consider myself normal to dry. I don't find this uncomfortable. We'll see. If I have an update at the end of the day, I will let you know. I got L40 and L30. They are both light neutrals, but I found the 40 looked a little warmer. You saw them both on my face, so you can decide. They say it's clean, long-wearing foundation with gentle micellar technology. We have no idea what that means. Not at all. Let me tell you. Micellar water is water that is infused with very, 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 very small molecules of oil. That's why it takes off your makeup. You're basically putting something like a mineral oil on your face, but in smaller molecules. So how they look at micellar technology as it applies to this foundation, I have no idea, and they don't say anything about it. They just say micellar technology. I kind of don't like that. I want more information. If you're trying to sell me on a technology, you got to tell me what the technology is. They say that micellar technology mimics the skin's texture for a natural skin finish. Whatever. Don't even talk to me. It does have a really nice finish. Oh my God, my skin. Huh. I'm seeing signs of dehydration over here, which I never see. It has not sunk into lines at all. Now mind you, I'm looking at an 8X with my glasses on. Okay, I am seeing signs of dehydration on my face, so while it doesn't feel uncomfortable, this may be a little bit drying. And sometimes that happens. Usually when something's drying, I can tell. I can feel tightening of my skin. I'm not feeling tightening of my skin, but it is undeniable that my skin is looking dehydrated right here. So that's interesting. If you don't know, if you've never been here before, I use a lot of moisturizing products on my face. I layer a lot of things. But I will say, I actually didn't use my regular moisturizer today. I used a lighter moisturizer. So there's that. But that moisturizer that I did use is more hydrating than my other moisturizer, which is more moisturizing. It has more emollients in it. So I shouldn't be seeing dehydration. There is dimethicone in this, and I think that is the unusual feeling that I got as I was spreading it on. I thought, oh, this is kind of strange. It reminded me a little bit of the Shiseido Synchroskin, the new one, not the old one. It does have an odd feeling to it. The feeling is, it's interesting, right? It's not offensive, it's just unusual, especially because the last couple of days I did this, and I did the Fenty, And even though the texture is similar in that these are creamy and this one is creamy, they're not the same. There's something going on here that's odd. And I will also say a little goes a long way. You saw me a couple of times, maybe not every time I dipped into it. I was getting very, very, very little, like maybe a cotton bud tip of product. So little goes a long way, and that's very good. That means it'll last you a long time. And there is indeed fragrance in here, and the fragrance is a little bit lower than halfway. And there is limonol and limonene. I'm totally pronouncing those wrong. Those aren't fantastic things for your skin. You don't really want that in good, healthy skincare. I recently read an article about it, and I can't remember specifically what the issues were, but I did come away with the idea that they're not great. Those are things you don't really want in your cosmetics. They were towards the very end, but it would have been better to skip that, I think. As far as things that are good for your skin, there's a couple of, things in there. They are the halfway point. They don't open with the healthy things, so this isn't your skincare. Do you know what I mean? It's fine. They say it's clean. I don't know. I'm no expert on clean. But that's my takeaway. I want to get this up because it seems like all the reviews right now are sponsored and you deserve something that's not sponsored. So I am going to put this in my camera and edit it and get it up for tomorrow, which is Monday morning, and move what I had for tomorrow over for later in the week. But I do think the skin looks pretty. It doesn't look cakey. It looks really nice on the forehead. I didn't have to powder it, which kind of is a plus. But I'm seeing some stuff, some dehydration I'm not too thrilled with. If you would like me to do another wear test with my regular moisturizer, let me know. I will do it again. If I wasn't in a hurry to get this out, I would do it anyway. I would just do a second day with this, and maybe I would powder it. I would normally want to do like 3 days on this particular one because of the moisturizer and because of the powder situation. But, I want you to hear what I got to say. So that's what I got to say. And I should be saying, that's what I have to say. I hate it when I use the wrong words. All right, thank you so much for spending a few minutes with me. I hope it was helpful, and I hope you come back again. In the meantime, I'm wishing you a fabulous day.